I have to admit, when I saw the reading list for this deep dive, I thought we were just going to be retelling uh, old myths, gods and epic battles on
Right,
mountains.
standard storytelling stuff.
Yeah. But looking at these notes, this feels less like a storybook and more like an instruction manual.
That is the perfect way to frame it, actually.
Yeah.
The source material isn't really interested in mythology just for the sake of entertainment. It's presenting what it calls ontological architecture.
Ontological architecture. That is a pretty heavy phrase to start with.
It is, yeah. But it's essentially a blueprint for being a complete human. The thesis here is that these old Hindu metaphysical concepts aren't just characters.
Like Shiva, Shakti, the cow, the tiger.
Exactly. They are structural pillars for a stable, functional psychology. And if you're missing one, the whole building collapses.
Okay, so let's look at the foundation then. We have the two big cosmic players, Shiva and Shakti. Now, in pop culture, Shiva is usually the guy with the trident, right? The destroyer.
I mean, in a devotional context, sure. But structurally, Shiva represents the witnessing field. Think of it as pure consciousness.
Okay, so just awareness.
Right. It's that part of you that is perfectly still, completely aware, but unmoving. It doesn't act, it just observes.
And Shakti would be the opposite.
She's the counterpole. Shakti is the animating force. She is movement, emotion, creation, the blood pumping in your veins.
I'm looking at this image included in the research, and it's striking. It's a body split perfectly down the vertical middle. The right half is male, the left half is female.
That is Ardhanarishvara.
Mm-hmm.
And this is crucial. We do not think of this as, modern gender politics.
Right, it's way older than that.
Much older. It's a metaphysical claim that reality is a single entity expressing itself as a dual polarity. You literally cannot have one without the other.
Because if you just have the witness...
You're inert. You're a ghost in a machine that just won't start. Pure consciousness can't actually do anything.
But if you flip it, if you have pure energy, pure Shakti, without the awareness of Shiva...
It's chaotic. It's movement without a map.
Just a loose cannon.
Exactly. So the architecture requires both the observer and the actor to be online simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the cosmic layer. It gets much more visceral when the text brings in the animals.
Yeah, this is where I got a bit skeptical. The cow and the tiger, I get the tiger right, cool, dangerous, powerful, but the cow, it feels passive, like it's just standing there waiting to be milked.
That is the common misconception, and the text corrects it sharply. The cow here isn't about passivity. It's about generative abundance.
Meaning the capacity to nourish life.
Yes, to provide stability and sustenance. It's the architectural pillar of softness.
So it's not weakness, it's the ability to feed.
Precisely. But here is the tension. Softness is dangerous if it's unguarded. That's why you need the tiger.
Which represents what? Just straight aggression.
Sovereignty. Protection. The tiger is the instinctual boundary setter. And there's a specific image in the source material that ties this together, the goddess Shakti actually riding the tiger.
That stood out to me. She's not fighting the tiger, and she's not running from it.
She's riding it. That signifies directed force. She hasn't killed her aggression, and she hasn't been eaten by it either. She has harnessed it.
It's the difference between violence, which is chaotic, and ferocity, which is disciplined.
Which brings us to the part about structural coherence. The text basically warns that if you isolate any of these traits, you don't just get an incomplete person, you get a pathology.
The scenarios in the text are brutal. Walk me through the cow without the tiger.
The notes call it exploitable softness. It means you have nurturance, but zero boundaries.
You just get consumed by others. You're nice, but you're a doormat.
Right. And the reverse, the tiger without the cow. That's not strength, that's predation. Without the softening influence of the cow, your sovereignty just becomes bullying.
You're safe, but you're alone because you're impossible to be around.
Exactly. And if we zoom back out to the cosmic layer, Shiva without Shakti is paralysis. Shakti without Shiva is hysteria.
So the aha moment is that a complete human being has to hold all four currents at once. You need the witness to direct the power, and you need the tiger to protect the cow.
It effectively kills the idea that you have to choose between being a tough person or a nice person.
You can't be one without the other. There's a line in the text that summarizes the whole philosophy perfectly: gentleness must have teeth.
Gentleness must have teeth, and that implies that power must have a conscience.
Right. It's not a binary choice, it's an integration. The goal isn't to kill the tiger or sell the cow, it's to build a structure where they live in the same house.
That's a fascinating way to look at personality quirks. It's not just who I am, it's a structural flaw in the architecture.
But structural flaws can be repaired. If you feel like you're constantly overwhelmed, maybe your Shiva wall is crumbling and you've lost the witness.
Or if you feel walked all over, you need to invite the tiger back in.
So that's the question for you to mull over today. If your personality is a building, which wall is load-bearing and which one is about to crack? It might be time to do some renovations on your own ontological architecture. Thanks for deep diving with us.